traders, welcome back to Pokemon Deck Check. I would be Poke Dad.
I'm the Dancing Bear at first base.
Very true. No denying that.
Good.
Today, Pokemon TCG Unbroken Bonds, we have Honchkrow GX. Deck profile, we are now confident in the list.
We are.
There are some changes that we've thought about making. This is now our third version of the deck, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yep.
So let's hop into it, and we'll kind of explain what changes we made. And we started off with go ahead, do the Pokemon, and then we'll kind of.
All right, starting it off. 4
Murkrow.
Yep. 4 Murkrow, 3 Honchkrow GX, and then 1 little Honchkrow. Oops.
There we go. Now y'all can see Nerdy Bear,
2 Marshadow,
Dancy Bear,
1 Grimer, 1 Muck, 2 Chapalele, and 1 Dedenne.
Okay, so the first iteration we had Honchkrow GX and Greninja, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
3-3-3 line.
Yeah, and it felt like the Greninja wasn't pulling its own weight, right?
Right.
So we went a different path. We went more disruption, and that's definitely the way to play this deck, right?
Yep, definitely.
It struggled against Zoroark, but it came down to your last Guzma was prized, right?
Actually, we didn't have the last Guzma, and one of the recent change is we added the 4th one, because it can be easy to discard one of the Guzmas, especially with the Dedenne and Ultra Balls and stuff. So adding in the 4th Guzma can come in clutch.
And we also added a non-GX Honchkrow, which has the attack Raven's Claw, which does 10 plus and then 10 more damage for every single damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon side. So it's getting a nice big one-hit KO probably. Because if you do 90 and then 30-30, you know, that's
150.
Yeah, 150, Choice Band 180. And
that's plus the 10 damage.
So 190. So it's pretty sweet. It's got a sweet little attack there. Definitely can swing the price trade.
Yep. And with the black market,
yeah,
no prize.
So Honchkrow GX, what this deck revolves around is the GX attack. You want to Marshadow Let Loose, and then hit them with the GX attack, which they reveal their 4 cards, and you choose 2, and they discard it. So you're basically trying to give them a dead hand, and from there you just attach your Dark, and then you just smash them every single turn.
Yep.
So hopefully you disrupt them. Lucario was a very difficult matchup because it's able to discard all the energy on Honchkrow for just 1 attachment, a DCE. So.
Yep. Well, they can attach the DC, so 2. But, I mean, 2 isn't too hard to reach.
Something to note, Honchkrow GX is weak to lightning. However, and I know right now where we're at in the meta, lightning is massive, right? But I'm telling you, Doug Trio and Hitmonchan decks are going to push lightning out of the format.
And it has resistant to fighting.
And this is resistant to fighting. From our testing, Hitmonchan and Doug Trio are every bit of what we're hyping it to be.
Yep.
And so having that fighting resistance is going to be a major advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're hitting 90. So that one-shots the Doug Trio, and it one-shots the Hitmonchan. So something to note there on both of those.
10 short on the Hitmonlee, though.
Yeah. So definitely good stuff. You can't hit the bench for 30. It's only 2 EX or GXs, but still.
And no fighting dojo for them, which is going to be huge.
Something to note against the Hitmonchan, if they're playing the Gumi or if they're playing Drachi, Muck.
And the Diancie.
And the Diancie, so you've got Muck to further your advantage in that matchup. So definitely good stuff here. Definitely. At first, I was comparing this deck to like
Glaceon.
Glaceon, but this is way better than Glaceon.
I don't think. No, we haven't missed a single turn one of the Honchkrow lock.
Yeah, and that was always Glaceon's biggest problem is if you don't get it in the active on turn one, you pretty much lose. This, with its GX attack to the disruption, along with Marshadow, game changer.
Only Zora can recover from that.
Yeah. Zoroark and Lucario, which I'm fully expecting Lucario to be integrated into every Zoroark deck because it's too strong. Just DCE and you can discard all your opponent's energy with Lucario's attack. So, Zoroark is going to be ultimately your worst matchup with this deck.
Yep.
And I don't see lightning decks being a problem. Honestly, you got the Muck, and you can disrupt them. And so, yeah.
There's a lot of combos with this.
It's really good. Non-linear strategy. It's disruptive. And you can go several different ways to tech with this. And this is better than Gengar Omastar. If you're looking for like a disruption deck, this is much better than that.
Yep. Onto the items. 4 Ultra Ball. 4
Dust Stone, I believe it is.
Yep. 3 Nest Balls. These sleeves are hard to deal with. 3 Choice Bands. 2 Poke Gears. 2 Switch. Nope.
Come over here.
And 1 Escape Board.
Okay, so 7 forms of search. That gets us there. Dust Stone, maybe you're not aware. Think of it as Eva Soda, but you can use it on turn 1, and it covers Lampent, Murkrow,
Litwick.
what's Mischievous, so you can get the Mismagius. And I think there's one. I think there's like 4 Pokemon, but
Honchkrow, Murkrow.
No, Murkrow, Lampent, Mischievous.
No, it says Honchkrow on it. That's why you can just use it as a burn card.
Oh, so. But anywho, it's really good. It gets you your turn 1 lock. With the, I don't think we touched on the ability. Honchkrow's GX ability is when it's in the active, your opponent cannot play stadiums, tools, or special energy. And right now, stadiums are everywhere, special energies everywhere, tools are everywhere, so it's super, super effective.
Kind of like Chaos Wheel.
It's Chaos Wheel, but as a passive ability.
And I do believe that this is stronger than the Glaceon, the ability-wise.
I think, well, I mean, you basically got both going because you have the Muck. So you have an element of Glaceon, and then you have Chaos Wheel.
Yep.
So it's super, super powerful. I think the items are self-explanatory. Most of your stuff has a 1 retreat cost, so that and the 2 switches helps get you out of the active and Honchkrow GX into the active, like Lele,
Muck, Grimer,
the Marshadows. You know, the Muck and Grimer have and notice that we played the Grimer with Chemical Breath.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually attack if you wanted to with it. So that's it on the items, right?
Yep. And
we'll go into at the end different ways that you could possibly look to build this if you don't like this version.
The supporter's pretty linear. 4 Lily.
And that's how we start to just get maximum consistency.
4 Cynthia.
This is not a teched out
And 4
version.
Guzma.
This is a nice foundation skeleton build as a starting point that you're going to have success with. And from there you can change cards as you need. And we'll talk about some of those changes. Dance Bear said he had to have 4 Guzmas in this.
Especially with the Muck having a big retreat cost, it's good to have another way to get it out of the active.
With 2 Poke Gears, I'm honestly debating going down on the supporters for other cards I'll discuss later, but it's streamlined for ultimate consistency right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it sets up perfectly. Like the Dancing Bear said, we played 5 or 6 games with it, and all 5 or 6, Honchkrow has been in the turn 1 active with an energy attachment every single game.
Indeed. One stadium, the black market.
Yes, and this is one of the other additions. Well, not this, but another stadium that we'll talk about that could be a worthwhile addition. So
we were thinking about Viridian Forest in this deck just so you can for sure get the energy attachment to it, but we've recently taken it out because we were thinking about it, and if they have energy, then that gives them the way to attack and kind of get out of the lock. And so if they don't have the stadium there, then that can make a huge difference.
Sometimes the most effective strategy is to just, when you hit them with the GX attack, just get rid of all their energy. And we didn't want to have Viridian Forest down, then they have a way to access energy. But the other stadium we've been thinking about playing is Lavender Town, where you can look once per turn, you or your opponent can look at each other's hand, and then that's it. So you can decide whether to hit them with the GX attack then or later.
Yeah.
So we thought about that, but I think there's other cards that bring a little more value, and we don't want our opponents seeing our hand. So. But we have considered Lavender Town.
Don't want to let them know what's up. Then for the energy, 4 DC and 3, 6, 9 dark.
9 dark, 4 DCE. That seems to be. We started out with 8, right?
7 dark and 4 DC.
Oh, we started out with 7 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it was a struggle to find dark, so we since upped it to 9.
And we didn't want to miss the turn 1 attachment of the dark energy on the Honchkrow.
And yeah, and when we were playing 7, I think we had Viridian Forest
Mm-hmm.
to for sure get the attachment, but then we're like, no, we don't want to be having a way for the opponent to have an out to get energy.
Yes.
So that's why we upped it to 2 more. So, all right, so changes or options going forward, I would say.
You could add another stadium.
I would say Lavender Town could be an option.
The supporter count.
The Dancing Bear has been on about adding Crushing Hammer. Even more disruption. So we haven't really looked into that. We've just kind of thought about it. But the Dancing Bear's been big on the Crushing Hammer. Myself and another viewer, I'm sorry, I can't remember who, have been big on Red Card or Peeking Red Card in conjunction with Let Loose and the GX attack.
So it's a new delinquent.
Yeah, a new delinquent pretty much is what we're talking about here. So, but with the red card and all that strategy, I don't know where we make the cut to where it's worthwhile.
Honestly, I feel like the Marshadow does a really good job just even by itself.
See, that's something else I've been thinking about adding is Mysterious Treasure instead of like the 2 poke gears, to be able to grab the Muck, the 2 Lele's, and the 2 Marshadows. So I've actually been toying with the notion of grabbing a couple Mysterious Treasure instead of the 2 poke gear. So there's definitely this strategy is not linear. You can take this deck in several different directions. And right now, this build, if you were to build it, you would have success. Okay? It's not teched out to
beat everything in the meta.
It's not dialed in 100%. Okay, folks? It's about 90%. this skeleton will work, and if you take it to a cup or challenge or whatever, you're going to have success. If you're looking to take it to a regional or whatever, you're going to have to really dig in and figure out which tech cards are going to work best for you versus the meta.
Indeed.
But it's positioned really nice. Don't be scared of the lightning weakness, because I don't see lightning being a problem. I mean, Zapdos could be an issue, but how is Zapdos going to do against?
You have Muck to shut off the Jiraachis.
Yeah. And then if you just crush their hand with Let Loose and the GX attack.
Yep.
So.
I think there's enough disruption that you can make the matchup super close.
And I think you could add field blowers in there too to demolish their escape boards. Just give them even less chances to move around.
If they can somehow attach them, then just get rid of that opportunity for them.
So, and I'm not saying Zapdos is a good matchup. I'm just saying you definitely have tools and ways
you can fight
to attack to beat it. So. That's all I got. You got anything else, Dan Spare?
No, I don't have anything extra.
Where do you kind of put this as far as all the new decks that we've been testing?
It's one of the good decks.
I'd put it up near the top 2. Is it better than Hitmonchan or Dugtrio?
Only testing can find out.
We'll have a tournament super soon. We got to do Blastoise. Okay? Blastoise is the next step.
On the list, yep.
So, till then, be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes.